All right, so today we're going to talk about Neptune in the natal chart and in transit to see what he means on that fundamental level. Yesterday we talked about Uranus, which was the masculine polarity to Neptune. These are the outer planets, trans-Saturnian planets, which are very deep in the unconscious mind in terms of how we experience them through our experiences in life, but also the types of personality characteristics that they shape. Now, of course, the house placement will make this Neptune very personal, the placement of Neptune, as well as any aspects to personal planets such as the sun and moon from Neptune can really bring that energy into the more personal daily sphere, but generally as a planet is definitely more collective, deeper, and unconscious. So still very important, especially for transformation. If you're watching this for any type of transits, if you've got transits with Neptune or Uranus for that matter, very impactful in our life. So Uranus was masculine in the outward approach, very active. It was the deeper part of the self that wants change and wants freedom. Now Neptune in the feminine approach is much more about peace, presence, having faith, and trust in the process. You can see this quite notably if you look at the planet. It's blue in color, has a ton of storms, so it's about uncertainty, has an incomplete ring system, so it's about things not being perfect, things not being, put into a certain box, which the mind likes to do. So that's a big part of this. Neptune is about the non-mind. It's about the spiritual, deeper faith and trust that we can have without having everything figured out in life. Even Uranus is a planet that kind of knows what it wants because it's a masculine energy, but Neptune, not only is it deep, but it's feminine. It's very much about faith and realizing that life is, of course, so much more than what we can ever imagine or what we can put into a box. And this even has to do with our personality. This is the aspect of the self that is very deep in the sense that it's beyond what we would perceive of ourselves, what we would label ourselves as a personality or as a person. And any aspects or important placements with Neptune can really bring this to the surface. One other thing Neptune does is if we try to figure it out too much, if we try to get the analytical mind too involved, then it can create blurriness, it can create confusion. And just as a natural energy of that, there's usually ideals associated with Neptune. So his house placement can really show where we idealize things because we have more of that imaginative approach versus the more rational approach, which is like Mercury and even Uranus for that matter in polarity. So it's about where we have non-rational, non-conceptual understanding, but we can have a deep emotional understanding and a spiritual connection to that area of life. So let's take an example. Let's say someone has a Neptune in their 7th house, the house of inner relationships and connectivity. These individuals can be very compassionate and very easygoing and very accepting through their relationships. A big part of Neptune is when we have that uncertainty, what ends up developing is unconditional acceptance. So this is unconditional acceptance for any area of life, even if it's something like your work or your home or your family. But for these individuals, it would be through relationships, so other people. They have that natural tendency. But at the same time, they have a big idealization for people. Sometimes they can put people on pedestals and see them for kind of in a non-grounded way, kind of more than what they are, can make them very romantic and dreamy in that sense. So the best benefits of this is that compassion and acceptance, and for these individuals to find that faith and trust with what they want or what they are pursuing or what they are intent on in life in that area is very key. Because the ideals and the dreams can kind of muddle things. So it's important for these individuals to go with the flow and have faith and trust that everything in that area, in this case relationships, is working out in divine timing. So that's the house area. Of course, you can do this with sign as well. So we could say someone with Neptune in, let's say, Sagittarius. This would be someone in their approach to spirituality could be quite philosophical, could see that overarching perspective of Sagittarius, and could be quite purposeful in their approach to spirituality. Sagittarius is very much about that purpose and direction in life. So you can see the sign, it gives it the quality in which we have that receptive nature, that quality in which we have that unconditional acceptance for things in life, and the house does show the area in which it's taking place. So very powerful stuff. It also shows where we can have spiritual liberation, where once we release that area of life in that way of the sign, we can have tremendous spiritual freedom. All right, so I'll see you guys all next time for Pluto. Take care.